All right. I'm in it. I'm in the game. Oh, I gotta turn off my speakers. Let's see how this is volume-wise. Seems a little loud to me. And I seem a little quiet. Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. Great. Everyone loves a good volume test in the middle of a show. I'm gonna turn this down. Wheels likes it. Thanks, Wheels. Let's maybe keep this at 70, whatever. But turn that music down. Okay. Yeah, my audio's like my audio settings are all weird because Kylie's mic that she uses is broken, and so it's like it gets louder and quieter, and I'm not sure which one is the real one. Like, I don't know if when it gets louder, if it's going back to normal, or if when it's getting louder something's breaking. And so I've been trying to like adjust my shit to compensate because it's consistent. And so I just like I'm all out of, unless it's me and her, then everything's weird, but should be good. Okay. So, this is a game called The Forgotten City. It was developed by a core team of 3 people over 4 years. Your support allows us to continue something. It's a mystery adventure with multiple endings. It rewards thoughtful conversation and exploration, not brute force. The fate of the city is in your hands. Great. So I like don't know. I know the bare bones conceit of this game, and that's honestly it. So I just heard that it might be interesting. Haven't done a stream in a while. Thought I would go for it.
Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change. So, wanna tell me who you are?
Okay, so there's 2. I mean, I'll be me. I'm just me today.
Well, it's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
I was searching for ancient ruins. I was on a covert mission. Oh, okay. I was on the run from the law, and I barely remember anything. So let's see. Archaeologists, years of studying history, give you occasional insights into the ancient world. You have a military-issued firearm, but only 10 bullets. You'll have to use them judiciously, since there's no way to get more. Your time on the run from the authorities has made you quick on your feet, and you're 25% faster when sprinting. Your recent head trauma has increased your pain threshold. I don't know about that, making you 50% harder to take down. I do not know if that's scientific. It could be. That could be real. That could be real, but that does not sound real to me. I kind of like archaeologist. I don't really care about being a little faster, although I might change my mind when I'm a couple hours into this game running along. But
Oh, you're an archaeologist? Then you'll definitely want to hear this. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for, but there are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He
What?
went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped, or injured, or worse. I would have gone in after him, but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what. There's no way I'm leaving without him, so I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him. If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please? Oh, of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. I just... What do you want to know?
What's your story? Inappropriate timing, I think. Where
you
are
really
we?
don't remember? We're in Italy. This river is the Tiber.
I love the Tiber.
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me. He's the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is. Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute.
But you're out here by the Tiber looking for your pal who's lost in some Roman ruins. Does not exactly seem like the dead-end jobs that I know.
Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you.
Why don't you want to tell me?
All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey. It's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
Was that just like a Karen joke? Like everyone named Karen? I don't think anyone really thinks that everyone named Karen is an asshole.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
But
so I guess it's
right
not
now,
that.
I have bigger problems, like finding Al. Great. So you're ready to go look for Al?
Oh, I'm using the mouse. I don't really want to be using the mouse. I want to use my...
Thank you. The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Please, hurry. Oh, and he left this here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
Flashlight. Nice, okay. Take item. For a brief second, I thought that she was just going to hand me like a different gun. So if I was soldier, I would have two guns. Alright, you are allowed to walk on the fire. You are not allowed to walk backwards, though. Do not walk backwards. I don't like the sensitivity. Okay. That's all right, though. Okay. It says they're both at 100%, and I just don't believe it. Oh, controller. Oh, okay. It still says that. Yeah, vertical sensitivity definitely is more. Ooh, look at that! Look at that! Ew, that's ugly. Okay, settings, controls, vertical sensitivity. Turn that down to 80. Jeepers creepers. That is better though. Video, vertical sync, yes. Motion blur off. I had already changed it to 50%. That's not really better. Okay, it's fine. Ooh. It's a hell of a sprint. Elvan could be a fun, intentional misspelling of Ivan. I don't know. Or I don't know. Elvan says, the one Karen I know personally is quite nice. Actually, the one Karen I also know personally is nice. I love the crazy field of view switch when you're sprinting. B to jump, disagree, but you know, I don't. Not your boss. Okay, so I was right about one thing. These are definitely wrong. Like, they're 100% is not equal for both, but 80, 100 is too slow. It's gonna be 120, 120, 80. I mean, 120, 100. Just gonna. Is that it? No. Okay, I'm just gonna assume that. Backpack full of worn hiking clothes and empty food packets. Nothing valuable here, but still, seems strange that Al left it behind. I would take item.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten, all knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain. For this shall..."
Oh, it really doesn't want me to go down there until it's done, huh? Wow, I hope he reads that again for me. Am I underwater? I sure am. Can't sprint underwater, though.
Shall be their final resting place.
Oh.
Could an underground city have remained a secret for all this time? Could people have survived down there, against the odds? It seems there's only one way to find out. If I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side.
I heard a
Consider
creepy
this
noise.
An invitation. Or a warning. Al Worth.
Very cool. Up there. Ancient Roman mosaic depicting a godlike figure turning a man into gold. Huh. Sort of like all these fine folks. A Roman gladiator mid-stride. What could have made a gladiator flee? Gladiators are not famous for not fleeing, I don't think, but that's fine. It whispered at me. I hate that. Oh. Pretty creepy. Does not. Oh, great! I love when the game tells me to save. That's great, and it means that just nothing is about to happen. Don't worry about it. scared, guys. Jeez. She appears to be praying for help that never came. I see more statues up there. Let's go up. These stairs are ridiculous. Ooh, yikes. A golden statue of an old man wearing modern clothing. This must be Al. But how is that possible?
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, that you'll suffer the same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only two options. Death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now. And find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
More whisper. I don't like it. Don't ever whisper at me in a game. It's scaring me. All right, let's do it. This is the thing. Just for a moment, let's stare at this cool portal, and I'm going to just gonna retweet that we're streaming this. All right. Great. Let's go in. I feel like Al probably gave it a little more time before going through the doorway. Right? In retrospect, maybe I should have gone to try and tell Karen, but no, I fell, right?
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
I'm Keith, and I've just come from the future.
No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit, not right in the head? That's all right, friend. Everyone's welcome here.
They have to be.
We sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March? It's 817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the Empire are you from, exactly? CE? No idea what you're talking about. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you You seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So, let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine. Not laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well, it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming? Follow me. When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now. Only 23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your handsome new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking him to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her, if I were you. She's... it's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat.
Good news, that's all I want.
That one usually gets a chuckle.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Don't mind Livia. She means well. She's just been in a bad place since... Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her. Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge up since. And this central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Hilarious.
All right, let's see and figure out what setting we can change for this to stop stuttering. I've got everything on the highest, but that's just you know what it defaulted to. So let's bring anti-aliasing and visual effects down to high.
You're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the villas.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally.
So let's try that again. Let's maybe do visual effects back in. I don't know. I like the volumetric lighting. I don't want to lose that. Maybe.
The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What was that? What did you just say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy.
What does that mean?
Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please. I expect the magistrate wants to brief you about the Golden Rule. It shouldn't take too long. He's busy preparing for the election later today. Follow me. The only thing you really need to understand right now is the Golden Rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9. Didn't matter whether he'd done anything wrong. One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective. We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the Golden Rule is exactly 10 times worse. The magistrate can explain the rest. Who's up these stairs?
don't like the stuttering. I don't know why it is happening. Let's turn my... Okay, that looks fine. It's still stuttering. Like, what the fuck? Okay, people who play this game, is this just a stuttery game? Does this game just always stutter no matter what your settings are? Because if that's it, then I'll just turn everything back up to high. It's definitely not stuttering as much, but it is still. It's still stuttering on medium. Like, what the fuck?
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name? A curious name to match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the piercing and astute eyes of a man of great learning. We're always happy to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago. In good time. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin? Nor could I until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment, like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule.
Haha, get it?
That we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away.
What counts as a sin here? What did you mean when you said Proserpina sent me? Why can't you investigate? Do you have any suspects? If I do this, will you help me get back to my own time? I'm gonna start here.
You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time, do you? 2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us, of this city? I have imagined it, our downfall, 1,000 times, but it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
What counts as a sin here?
An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries. I'm glad you agree. The key things to remember are that we have laws forbidding treason and blasphemy, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
I bet that... I actually want to see it. I bet that that other thing was,
Question.
Oh.
There was a good... Of course...
I bet that this is interesting. I don't actually think this, so I didn't pick it, but I bet the answer to this is interesting. And regardless, it doesn't make any sense because we have no idea what the criteria are, and so there's... I would go with the guy who knows, at least is from the same century as the people whose criteria they are, you know? Like, that makes a lot of sense to me. Which is why I didn't pick it, but...
Barbaric? Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world. Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne great statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists, and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights of our citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across the Mediterranean and beyond, from Gallia to Judea. All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. Can you say the same? When our people are starving, they are given food rations, and when they are wronged, they have the right to bring the guilty party before the magistrate. Our laws forbid treason, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. No other civilization in the world is so advanced, and you have the hubris to call us barbaric?
Games for the Wild Woods says, wow, there's some intense pro-Roman retconning going on here. This guy is a Roman. So, as he's a Roman politician, and so it makes total sense to me that he thinks all of this stuff. I don't think that this seems like pro-Roman retconning as much as pro-Roman nationalism coming from a Roman citizen.
On occasion, but our gladiators are almost all volunteers seeking
Almost all.
or condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway. I do not see the harm. Of course, what else would we do with those prisoners of war who would otherwise have been executed? And besides, there are laws for their protection as well. Of course, but with fewer rights come fewer responsibilities, and the right to be protected by their fathers and husbands. You mean the blasphemous cult responsible for burning down half of Rome last year? It's hard to blame the people for being angry about that. Are you talking about our practice of decimation? Of course. We could hardly unite all these warring tribes without a disciplined, formidable legion. Well, right now, you're a long, long way from home. I have made my pronouncement on the subject.
I'm glad I went back and did all that.
There are still those here
It was
who resist,
like
whispering
a lot of content
blasphemous
there.
and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
I'll say this, like, I don't know anybody yet. I met the one guy on my, like, as soon as leaving the temple to Persephone. And I'm talking to this guy now, and I'm going to say I'm pretty sure that the chances are good that the person who sins is the boss politician man. I bet. But who knows? There could be way more going on here than I think. So
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina.
Serpina.
I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in the future?
I didn't actually see that, but
That was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you? Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for. Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot.
oh, did the stream go down for anybody? Are we good? I just want to wait until I hear someone. Okay, we're good.
Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore? What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better. Me? Why would you suspect me? I've just told you, I'm about to sacrifice my own life to ensure these people have a second chance. What reason could you possibly have to suspect me, of all people?
It is a fair point, but, you know, be very ironic, wouldn't it?
I'm glad you think so. Without trust, without each other, we won't be able to prevent what is about to happen. there are those who wish to vote me out of office so that they can pursue their own misguided political agenda. Frankly, their selfishness and recklessness risk destabilizing the entire city. I would be looking very carefully at them if I were you.
Okay, so here's why it doesn't make sense that he's free and clear, because he's going to do the ritual, right? He does do the ritual, apparently. I didn't see the human remains, but the game knows that they were there. And so it may be extremely calculated. It may be a big risk, right? But he knows that if he intends, this is Bill and Ted time travel rules. He knows that if he intends to do the ritual, truly intends to do it, and then does it, I will be sent back in time to their time before he does the ritual, saving him and the place. So he can, do the ritual to bring me back without sacrificing himself. Is that a paradox? I don't know. I'm not a time travel nerd. And I'm not a time travel purist. But you can intend to do that and then get out of it scot-free if that's the way they want to do things. And then he would still have the opportunity to be the one who does the sin.
If I understand Proserpina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the golden rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox.
Okay.
If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense?
Sure, why not? Wait, but I know that this is supposed to be a time loop game. So what's the loop? So if I succeed, I get sent back. But if I fail, I just fail, right? Like, Al didn't get sent back. Al got strung up.
Ah, good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule?
Minor says if you fail, you go back to the start. Right, but why? Al didn't. Okay.
No, I don't suppose you do. But I'm hoping that even if you're not burdened with a sense of self-sacrifice, you'll at least see the sense in self-preservation. Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately. Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
So, okay, someone said that maybe the low sensitivity was texture's epic. Foliage, no, not a lot of foliage, whatever, it's fine. Okay. I don't think there was anyone out here, right? No. I do like the look of a lot of stuff. That thing looked at me. It looked at me at that time. Who are you? Yeah, it's looking at me now. When I look away, it looks at me.
Oh, don't mind me. I just live here. Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
Excuse me? I'm allowed to call you barbarians. You're not allowed to call me barbarians.
I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that? Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our customs. Now, remind me, why are we having this conversation? You know, some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing god who's watching everything we do. But what kind of an awful, incompetent god would let my sister go missing on his or her watch? Oh, I'd say it to their faces if they had the courage to show themselves. Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my sister? What do you have to say for yourself? No response. Nothing. That's what I thought. I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job. Either that, or, like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father is exploiting to frighten us into behaving. I suppose we will. Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too. Is that it? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone. I don't know. Can you? Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the harpies? It was 3 weeks ago. We ate our evening meal together, and I remember she seemed happy. In love. We went to rooms, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, she was gone. That's it. I think so, yes. But she was very careful about keeping his identity a secret, even from me. Because our father had plans to marry her off, eventually, and even a rumor about her attachment to some mystery man might have ruined those plans.
She was gonna get married off in a town with like 23 people in it, I think they said. That's unlucky, I guess.
That doesn't surprise me. To him, it was like a prize cow wandering off from its paddock. He's upset, of course, but he says he's too busy with the election to help look for her. So he's letting Horatius do the heavy lifting. Some good that's done. I don't know, but it's been 3 weeks since she disappeared, and he hasn't come forward. That might speak to a guilty conscience. All I know is, whoever he is, he's still here in the city.
It sounds like she probably just ran away with him, right? I don't think she looks... I'm going to say this just to see what happens, but I actually don't think that that's true. She seemed really worked up over it.
I hope you're not insinuating I'm somehow pleased with her disappearance.
Bluff.
Oh, you're awful. Get out of my villa and never speak to me again.
All right. So that's one. We met one person. She wasn't the nicest. Ooh, let's see. Great, I found her innermost secrets. Excellent. Reading mode. Oh, no, I don't need that. I know you're reading this, Father. I may be young, but do not think me stupid. We're all entitled to our secrets. Oh, okay. Not true. It was just a lie. Pretty cool. I like that. It's fun. Huh. Well, let's save it. Is stealing a sin? Yes or no? God, I just don't want to find out yet. I don't think that I would take that risk. Scintilla to Sentius and Sentia. May Clementia give you the strength to forgive me. I am sorry to leave. I'm sorry to leave you this way, but I have found a way to escape, and I must take it. I hope we meet again someday. I'm gonna take that. Hey, did you know?
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
Why?
What now? I'm a legionary of the 1st Italica, but there's not a lot of fighting down here. So the magistrate has assigned me other duties. I act as the magistrate's right-hand man, keeping an eye on his daughters. Daughter, I should say. And the others, and making sure they're all behaving. I also keep a register of new arrivals. I'm from Liguria, up north originally. I was doing alright for myself. 12 years into my service. Had a nice girl lined up for when it was all over. Not anymore. She's probably figured I'm long gone and moved on by now. I try not to think about it. My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, I thought I'd do something nice for my girl and pick up a little pendant from a silversmith. That's when the crowd started flooding through the streets, shouting fire. People were screaming, trampling each other. Then some Genetricum fugitive tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the river. And then, nothing. Blacked out and woke up near here. No idea how I ended up floating so far downriver. But I'm fortunate to be alive, I suppose. Ah, don't be. As Seneca the Younger said, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor does the body. That said, Scintilla's disappearance has been more difficult than I'd care to admit. He's one of the better commanders I've ever had, that's for sure. Good stoic. Lives by Seneca's words. Treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Can't ask for much more than that. I went around asking the same questions when I first arrived. Never did find a way out. But I learned how to accept my situation. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. That's from Seneca the Younger, if you're interested. I don't see why not. Just make sure I get it back by tomorrow.
Did you see that? Did you see that? That little... I feel like I'm playing L.A. Noire. He gave a sideways look.
Of course.
Get it back by tomorrow.
Well, as I always say, it's kind of like a divine version of the practice of decimation in the Legion. By threatening to execute 1 in 10 men, the idea is to ensure order and discipline among everyone. And it works. If you knew you could be executed because your brother-in-arms is planning a mutiny, well, you'd bloody well watch him like 100-eyed Argus, wouldn't you? Because your only chance of saving yourself is to stop bad things before they happen. Makes us all responsible for keeping each other in check. It's brutal, of course, but effective. The Legion wouldn't be the most formidable force in the world without it. What's done is done. I was forced to execute my brothers in arms, and those memories will always visit me in my sleep. But life is harsh, and I've come to accept my lot. As with the Golden Rule, I don't have any control over it, so railing against it would be like trying to stop the seasons or the tides. As Seneca the Younger wrote, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that is so wants nothing.
This guy's very, stoic.
A war crime. Isn't that a contradiction in terms? As Cicero said, in times of war, the
Sure
laws are
is.
silent.
There's no option for, I agree that that's true, but still bad. That's messed up.
Your sort wouldn't last a week in the Legion. If you like. Not that it's any of your business, but my loyalty is and always will be with Sentius. Unfortunately, I don't think my vote is going to make any difference today. See, Domitius has been going around town, shoring up votes for Malleolus with lies, bribery, and intimidation. The man's a savage, but he's a gladiator, so people fear and respect him more than they should. Sentius knows about it, of course, but he doesn't have the same rat cunning as Malleolus. This place will be different with that sleaze at the helm. But I try not to worry about things I can't change. I appreciate the thought, but you're new here, and I just can't see how you could make an impact in the time between now and the election this afternoon. In any case, if you're interested in the election, go and have a chat with Equitia, the Vestal Priestess. She'll be overseeing proceedings. All right?
Do I need to ask Horatius to escort you out of here? Get out, you horrid barbarian!
Damn.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
Okay, guy. Place has a lot of gold statues for a group of people who are worried about being turned into gold statues.
Are they?
Like, this guy looks scared. Like, that's not Like, who made this? Who wants this here? Is this maybe just another group of people who have been... Yes. Can't do anything. Talk to the push-ups person over here. By the way, you can ooh. Talk to me. Oh, this must be... That must be, what was it, Malleolus? What was I gonna say? Oh, you can go to contentburger.biz, support the show. I don't know who, I never know what the, is it just everyone's watching is just here from Twitter and from watching Run Button anyway, but as always, you can go to contentburger.biz to subscribe to the Run Button Patreon or youtube.com/runbutton, which is where most of our content is. And I recommend you do that. A lot of stuff there in both.
What were you two talking about? Don't play dumb. I saw you. Having a shady little chat with old man Sentius up on his balcony. What's he offering you? Money? Favours? What's your vote worth to him? What? You're throwing your lot in with him for free then? That's even worse. Mark my words, Malleolus is gonna be magistrate by the end of the day. And if I tell him you've sided with that feeble old has-been, that you've been trying to undermine his hard-won victory, you'll have picked the wrong patron. Got it? Oh, you just made a big mistake. Malleolus is gonna hear all about this, and he'll make you suffer the tortures of Tartarus while you're still alive. Sturcum adite. Os in culio mio. Os in culio mio.
This guy says he doesn't want to talk to me anymore, I guess. Is this where I came from? No. Door's locked. I wonder if I have a map. But not enough to check. This is...
Hey! You're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
Why not?
Nobody's told you about Hannibal? Ugh. Why do I have to do everything round here? So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent. Used to go down into the cisterns looking for junk he could clean up and sell. One day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me that cisterns are haunted. Said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course, nobody believed him, because who trusts a Carthaginian, right? Anyway, a few days later, he goes back in. And hours go by, and he hasn't come back out, yeah? So I go down after him, and it's dark. But in the distance, I can just make out his body, sprawled out on the ground, and hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. No word of a lie. I saw a creature. Like the corpse of a man who'd been flayed. And it was eating Hannibal. What any sane person would have done. I legged it out of there and put a sign at the door to warn the others. Good idea.
So, I was wondering what your gun was for. It's not what I wanted. Very awkward loading screens here. Don't much like that. What happened to my How do I take out my flashlight? Ooh, he said kill me. Peeled statue. Huh, that sucks. Peeled statue. Peeled statue. Now I wish I'd taken the gun. I want to shoot one of the fucking statues. See if a person comes out. An anonymous friend to Octavia. May the Lord bless and keep you. I am sorry I could not risk discussing this with you in person, but if I am right, then you're a believer like me. You may not be able to worship openly here, but know that you're not alone. If you ever feel like you need somewhere to pray, there's a special place waiting for you deep in the caves behind the theater. Turn right at the first fork, and again at the second. I don't know who Octavia is. But I bet she's right out here, huh?
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit? Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?"
I'm in a hurry.
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change.
All right, glad you're into it. What's a Vestal priestess?
You really don't know? You are from far away, aren't you? Well, I am one of the priestesses, charged with keeping the sacred flame in Rome's shrine of Vesta burning. I take it you know who Vesta is?
See, this... I'm supposed to be an archaeologist. I wish that it had said here.
Vesta is the mother goddess of hearth and home, and the guardian of the Roman people. You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here? Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you? Older. I see. I wonder if... No. I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns.
I already noticed the river. I mean, the only other person who told me how they got here floated down a river.
I know. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you, too. Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair. She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, About a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working, and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help, but she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the Golden Rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you? Thank you. Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth, and come back to me if you discover any patterns.
Me and the Legionnaire floated down a river. That's a pattern enough for me.
Come back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
Fucking hate the statues. It's not okay. When when it pulled the statue up to me, I was like, oh, this thing is going to kill me. This statue is looking at me and coming to get me. Clearly, the people living in this town are not the only people that need help. I'm gonna up the gamma a little bit. No, that's not good. Maybe some of the lighting is just bad. Found some money. That's cool, right? Always remember they're watching. Oh, the statues watch. Maybe that's how you can sin. No statues around. Theophilus had an orgy with 4 girls here and disappointed all of them equally. Sorry, Theophilus. Maybe I can start with 1. The statues seem like they like me. You fucking scared the shit out of me, dude. Couldn't see you at all.
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
Or what? You'll get us all killed by, like, attacking me?
did, do you think we'd be having this conversation? Can't talk long, got to stay sharp, but family's from Solution on Tigris, Babylon province. But I've been roaming a long time now. Even joined the legions, the 6th, the one they call Ironclads. Same way as everyone else. Because we're all in grave danger. Is it not obvious? Magistrate made me toss it in the chasm. Stupid. Going to have to improvise now. If you were dealing with what I am, you wouldn't be either. None of your business. Introiti ipsum commensula.
I kind of want to follow this guy. Maybe that's something.
I'll tell you this much. I hate the fact that my survival depends on the common sense of other people. I mean, all these people just bumble along like nothing's wrong, while we're one bad decision away from being wiped out. Like the last lot of people who lived here. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming. Whatever that is. And when it hits, it's everyone for themselves. You've been warned. I don't know. But did you ever get the feeling some of these statues are watching us when we're not looking? Like they're waiting for something. I don't like it.
Yeah, that's definitely happening.
Of course I am. Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even protect his daughter in a city without sin. How's he going to protect us? No. Whatever.
I kind of want to follow this guy, see where he goes. Maybe he's just on a path. Like, he just walks in a circle. I don't know. But he seemed like he was going somewhere specific, and I haven't been over here anyway, so let's see what that is. Oh.
Help! You have to do something. A man arrived in the baths. A real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You have to do something, or he's gonna break the golden rule. Fabia, but now's not the time. Are you going to help or not? Thank you. He's still in there.
In the baths.
I have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over.
Hiding pretty good.
What? We don't have time for this. I have to go. Ugh. The shrine is collapsing.
Damn. Warning, shrine may collapse at any moment. Are you kidding me?
Fabia, no! Oh God, she's dead. Did anyone see that? The whole shrine just collapsed on her. Oh, Fabia, why did you have to go in there? Poor sweet girl.
That guy fucking left in a hurry. Where did you go, dude? Where are the baths? Are these the baths? Are the...
How'd you do?
Oh, jeez. I don't know where the baths are. Baths are back towards the temple. But where's the temple? Is this the am I going towards the temple now? That looks like the temple, but this looks like the temple. Is this the temple?
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is? I'm not sure I believe that, so allow me to explain something to you. I am here with orders from Emperor Nero himself to find and execute the cultist Quinctius for terrible crimes against the Empire. So, if you tell me the truth, I will allow you to live. But if you lie to me or otherwise obstruct the Emperor's business in any way, I will put this arrow through your chest. Is that understood? You are not off to a good start. When I ask you a question, I expect an answer. Is that understood? Thank you. Now tell me, who are you people, and what is this place? A small community. Ha! I was told Quinctius was a cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me right to the heart of his mystery cult. You say that, but if you're not a cult, then why go to such great lengths to keep this place a secret? So you admit you're not allowed to leave. Threatening me is not going to help you, but in any case, that sounds an awful lot like a cult to me. And I saw the inscription.
This guy's being willfully.
For the sins of the one. I take it this is some kind of mantra you all believe?
This guy's being willfully obstinate.
A distinction without a difference. You've clearly been indoctrinated into this nonsense. Now tell me, where did you lot get enough gold to make all these statues? You lot are practicing human sacrifice too. You people disgust me.
I'm having trouble getting through to this guy.
Of course you'd say that, but that's what your kind do, isn't it? Our God told us to do it. It's all clear to me now. The secret sanctuary, the indoctrination, the mantra, the human sacrifice. You're cultists. There's no doubt in my mind. What baffles me is how a person can believe in something with such zeal. They just can't see what they've become. However, you still have a chance to redeem yourself by telling me where Quinctius is. Do not waste it.
Sure.
Very well. Here's what I know. He's a 40 to 50-year-old man with distinctive eyes, one green and one blue. He's also known to have delusions of grandeur. The Emperor says he and his cult, your cult, are responsible for starting the fire which burnt half of Rome to the ground.
Ah, the Christian fire they talked about. Perhaps the Emperor was looking for a scapegoat. I bet this guy won't like that.
Who are you to challenge what the Emperor says? Were you there? Do you have spies and scouts all over Rome like he does? No, you do not. This is your last chance. Are you going to tell me where he is or not? Then you're of no use to me. Do you have any last words?
This would be a really funny one. Be a very funny one.
Well, I'd say that's rather convenient, since I was planning to kill you all anyway.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Oops. I died. I saw that rope and I was like, ooh, maybe I can slide down this rope. Right? And, and then I couldn't, so I was like, oh, maybe there's no fall damage.
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus. Otherwise, I'm not...
I'm just gonna blaze through this.
Oh, how very... I was... Oh, don't play coy with me. I don't care if you're worshipping Bacchus, Magna Mater, or Christ. You lot are all the same to me. Always sneaking off to your secret sanctuaries, indoctrinating each other with your little mantras. The Emperor may have tolerated your activities up until now, but after what Quinctius did, those days are numbered. You say that, but if you're not a cult, so you admit you're not allowed to leave. That sounds an awful lot like a cult to me. And I saw the inscription. Another lie. So you really do believe that? You've clearly been... Now tell me, where did you lot get enough gold to make? Yes, yes. It's all clear to me now. What? Gold? I don't care about gold. You don't seem to understand the situation. So let me make it abundantly clear. The only thing I care about is carrying out my duty to execute the cultist Quinctius. I have spent many exhausting months tracking this arsonist through cities and villages, roads and forests, bribing stubborn travelers and peasants for leads. At times, I was so bone-tired I could have sworn I'd approached the brink of death. But still, day and night, I pressed on for the glory of the Emperor. So, you see, I know he's here. Turning back is not an option, and right now, the only thing standing between me and my triumphant return to Rome is you.
I believe that we are all already dead.
Are you going to tell me where
Bum,
he
bum.
is, or do I have to put an arrow in you and ask the next person I meet?
Right? Don't tell me if you know, but I believe that we're all already dead. Prediction.
Very well. Oh. Do you have any last words? And there's a simple explanation for that. I lied. But if you want to know the truth before you die, here it is. Once I'm done with you and Quinctius, I intend to kill every last one of you wretched degenerates. And I can think of nothing I'd enjoy more.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
This was the wrong way. Hey, I'm stuck. Ow. I'm so close. Whew, made it back. Great.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and why you look like you've just taken on a gladiator and lost? I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life. Oh, I guess how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you. Oh, and since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
Hey!
Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking.
Great. Love that.
And if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to test it myself. But don't worry, it's completely safe. Probably. All right. See you around.
Wait, I do want to talk more.
Ah, it's you again. Hope you're settling in, friend. Now, what's on your mind? Well, it's a long one and kind of sad, but I don't mind telling it. I'm a farmer. Always have been. I grew up in a small village in Britannia, Camulodunum, with my parents.
Camulodunum.
Lovely part of the world. One day, when I was about 20, my father and I were in the top paddock, loading our cart, when some Roman legionaries came along, demanding produce for their men. My father told me to run into the house for his axe, and so I did. Sprinted so fast I almost threw up, but by the time I got back, he was bleeding out on the ground, and our cart was empty. That was my first encounter with the legions. My mother died of a broken heart soon after, and things went downhill from there. I took over the farmstead, but I was young. It was a struggle. More raiding started before too long. We'd come outside in the morning to find animals missing, our stores pillaged. These legion thugs just took whatever they wanted. One night, when my sisters and I had nothing left to steal, there was a knock at the door. I knew who they were, and what they wanted. I got my father's old axe, pulled the door open real quick, and before that soldier knew it, split his face right down the middle. But there were more of them. I never saw how many, because the next thing I knew, I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke. My home was reduced to ash. My sisters, dead. And they left me alive to see what they'd done. Still burns whenever I think about it. Yeah, well, I wasn't the only one this happened to. It wasn't long before Boudica led thousands of Britons in a rebellion against the Romans. Unfortunately, there were just too many of them. And those of us who survived, they enslaved. So, then I found myself being transported all the way to Rome. We sold to the highest bidder. I spent a few years working for my new master, learning the Romans' ways, Romanized my name and everything. Tried to escape a couple of times, but they always found me, and I'd just end up right back where I was. I'd probably still be there too, if it wasn't for the stampedes breaking out. You see, about 7 months ago, an enormous fire broke out in Rome. Everybody was running down toward the river, screaming and shouting. Never seen anything like it. Human beings acting like cattle. I got swept up with them somehow, and the rest...
River again, nailed it.
Next thing I knew, some stranger was dragging me out of a river. stumbled across this place and started my life over again.
Who's the fucking Roman Grim Reaper? And are they named Karen? Roman Grim Reaper. I don't know. As far as I... no, I'm not seeing any. Roman Grim Reaper is not immediately returning anything useful. Oh, there we go. Theopho says Sharon. Well, in Latin, is there a ch? Is a ch just a k sound? Charon is the boatman. Pronounced Karen. Yep, nailed it. Karen is the boatman who takes people across the river into hell. So yes, close enough. Nailed it. Come on, I got it pretty early, huh? All right. I'm glad things worked out in the end.
That's what I thought too, for a while. But it seems the gods aren't done tormenting me yet. See, I finally had my own farm again, safe from the grasping hands of the Romans. Or so I thought. Until Sentius the Decurion demanded I hand over all my produce. It's for the good of us all, he says. Only he takes the best bits for himself, of course. He even told me if I refuse his demands, I'll break the golden rule. I'm not sure I believe him, but then, what if he's right? So, it turns out our dear old magistrate is no better than the Legion thugs who took everything from me. I'm right back where I began. But don't you worry, Nemesis is waiting. And he'll get his, one day. He'll get his. Forget I said that last part, will you? I get carried away.
The fuck is Nemesis?
Oh, come on, don't be like that. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Was there something else you wanted to talk about? Well, as much as I'd love to get out of here, the harvest's always more fruitful in another man's field, isn't it? But Scintilla, Sentius's daughter, went missing a few weeks back. Could be she found a way out. If anyone knows for sure, it'll be her sister, Sentia. But she'd never tell the likes of me. Oh, I don't give it much thought these days. I mean, everybody here's got their own view about what we need to do to survive. But I say, let's spend less time arguing about what it means to be good and just get on with it, you know? I can't see how I could vote for either candidate. I don't like Sentius.
Who's Al then?
This is almost as bad. Even I could do a better job. Me, a farmer. And I've never given a speech or put on a toga in my life.
Who the fuck is Al then? Karen's like, you gotta go get Al. I found Al. Is it just like a trick to get me in there? I don't understand the Al bit. I don't get what that is. I don't even have a guess.
All right. See you around.
Al. Is it a Yu Yu Hakusho thing where she grabbed the wrong person out of the river, he was never supposed to die, and so she wants me to go find him so that she can give him spirit detective powers? Right? Oh, do I really have to do this? Do I really have to go inventory, zipline? No, I guess no. Maybe you just can only do it from up there. I mean, that makes sense. It's just kind of hard to tell from here that that's even up. But I suppose it is. It looked like it pedaled, though, so I thought maybe you can just go both ways. Would have been nice. Oh, whoa, this is not a good ladder. Maybe worst video game ladder I've ever used. It wants me to go to talk to Cynthia about Scintilla's, yeah, I figured that out too. Oh. I mean, very pretty, but I want to get up there. There's definitely something up there. There's definitely some way to get up there. I just must not have unlocked it. Is there a fuck, did I fall out of the level basically? Great. Nope, nope, nope. Fuck. Okay, yeah, there is a tool to cross the weeds. Oh, come on. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. We'll get through it.
Oh, and since you seem to be in a hurry, just attach the and oh. Ah, it's you.
I guess I don't need to do this, right? Oh no, I have to get. Yeah, to get the scintilla thing.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, let's look at our leads here. Figure what happens to Scintilla. Figure out how to get into Malleolus's villa. Figure out how to neutralize an armed man. I may need to get creative. Figure out how to make Malleolus drop out of the election. Figuring out what's distressing Lucretia. Ask residents about their stories. Well, that certainly worked. Don't steal anything. Don't hurt anyone. Don't... Whoever wrote this didn't get a chance to finish, evidently. Don't graffiti. Obviously, they don't want me to do this, but since when has that ever stopped? Ah, fuck. That was close. That was really close. Fine. Be that way. I heard. So that's the way to the secret. Oof, rough. Buddy, that's rough. You got cooked. This way again, but let's just look at this way. Well, this place scares me. So I'll go back to where I know where I'm going. Also, I'm worried about getting so far away that I like. Oh. And it happened. I did lose. Did lose it. Okay, so right at the fork. And then a right at the second fork. Okay. Back on track. That's your little Jesus fish, huh? Early Jesus fish. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Countered by to the lions with you, cultist. It's locked. I don't know what to do about that. I mean, eventually I guess I can get a key. Well, let's talk to one more person and then call it. Maybe I will go down this scary path. I don't like that everyone... I don't like how scared everyone is of down here. Okay, I don't have the thing to go that way. Okay, maybe I'll just go back. Letter from Livia. The place is called Accursed. Accursed. Here. Titios? I don't know what letter that is supposed to be. Titios offers up his innards to be torn, stretched out over 9 fields. Is it a C? Tantalus cannot catch the drops of water, and the tree you grasp at eludes you. You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone that always returns. Ixion? I don't know what that letter is. Oh, right. There's a, I can't. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there's no like read view. Ixion turns and falls after himself and flees, and the 49 Blides who dared to plot the destruction of their cousins, their husbands, fetch again with incessant labor the water they have lost. This means nothing to me. The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Stop looking at me. Am I stuck in here? Here we go. Pretty flower out there. Ooh. Big guy. This looks like where our friend the farmer farms, does his farm stuff. I wonder if this guy will be more receptive to me now that I haven't. Oh no, that's not him. This is him.
Hey, Horatius. How's it feel knowing your man's doomed to lose the election today?
If you're trying to goad me into an argument, it won't work. I'm a stoic, remember?
If the old man couldn't even keep his own daughter safe, how can anyone trust him to keep us safe, eh?
Why do I get the feeling you lot have something to do with Scintilla's disappearance?
That's it. Blame everyone but yourself.
If I find out you did something to that poor sweet girl, not even the Golden Rule is gonna protect you. Got it?
Ha! As if I'll be afraid of you, little man. Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment, it being election day. Her name's Domitius. You want to get to Malleolus, you go through me. Too bad. He's busy. Unless... No. You don't look like you could afford it. I'm glad you asked. See, he's a busy man, and this is an important day. He'll be inside practicing his victory speech for tonight. Left me strict instructions he doesn't want to be disturbed. So if you want to see him, I'll need
Got a bottle of wine.
in return. Bribe? That's such an ugly word. What I'm looking for is more of a tribute to me, your soon-to-be patron. Os in Coolio mio. Just make it good. Hey, Caput Murde, Futuere es. Just make it good. Dunno. Something good. Just make it good. Yeah? What have you got for me?
I feel like that bottle of wine would be great.
If you set one foot in that villa without permission, I'll skin you alive, you Pusillus Semitarius Mocus.
Like, a little Latin swearing is really funny. She's not here.
Isn't the great temple majestic? A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit? Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me, but you've come to the right person. Did you find a pattern then? What have you noticed? Oh,
not true.
Well then, keep asking people how they wound up here. I don't want Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind. It must be completed by dusk. just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask? All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course. Well, you're not a citizen yet, so no, I'm afraid not. But if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election. By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course. I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed. You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination. Certainly. Come back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
Greetings and salutations.
Alright, this is the last person I'm going to meet today.
Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India. And never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know. From which exotic part of the world do you hail?
I'm from beyond the edge of the known world. That's very cool.
Then you are an explorer, like me. Wonderful. You must have many stories to share. I cannot wait to hear them. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps? My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum. You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all? I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree? Oh, and there is another reason too. If we all end up as golden statues for future generations to marvel at, I don't know about you, but I would like to look my best.
It's very goofy.
A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself. I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and droning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few
More river
and
stuff.
we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa. Indeed. I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been
It
rescued
surely
and
did not,
resuscitated by a
Georgius.
benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am. Anything you like.
All right.
Hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
I'm going to call it there. Thanks, everyone, for watching. So a few people around me. I don't know if I'm going to stream more, if I'm going to do the rest of it in my own time. I think this is fun. Sort of wish I hadn't I hadn't like got this sort of side plot of what's happening here so soon. Obviously, I don't have the whole picture. This guy's using statues as a model. That's really funny. Anyway, yeah, I think this is cool. I was like not sure if it was gonna be gimmicky or if it was gonna be like interesting. It did not fill me with confidence that it was a Skyrim mod. I don't know, just something about the last 10 years, or I mean, it's been close to 10 years, but I just don't care about Skyrim. So that sort of worried me about it. Like, am I just gonna be playing a stupid Skyrim thing? But no, it's cool. It's fun. It's interesting. And I'm curious to see where it goes from here. I'll probably be talking about it more. If I play more, I'll be talking about it on Snooze Button tomorrow at, hopefully 11 a.m. I know we missed the last one, but, yeah. So see you then. You can go to youtube.com/runbutton as always to watch the rest of our content. And you can support the show by going to contentburger.biz. That'll bring you to our Patreon, where we have a bunch of patron exclusive stuff, including the nearly concluded, we finished, it's all recorded, but it's almost all released, Shenmue 2 Let's Play. It's totally done. So if you want to finish off Shenmue 2, gotta get in on that Patreon, and we'll be starting our new patron Let's Play fairly soon. So keep an eye out for that too. All right, thanks. Have a good one, everyone.